When Sophia Beaumont flees her ruthless stepfather aboard a westbound train, she thinks she's finally escaping the terror that has haunted her since her mother's death. But danger catches up when a hired attacker corners her in the dark passageway, until Cowboy Lucas Winters intervenes, saving her life and altering her destiny in one violent heartbeat. Forced into hiding in the wild beauty of Montana, Sophia must confront the past determined to reclaim her. As threats close in and loyalties deepen, her fight for freedom intertwines with a love strong enough to rebuild everything she lost, if they survive long enough to claim it. In the summer of 1887, the westbound Northern Pacific train roared across the rugged landscape, carrying passengers chasing new beginnings, promises, and sometimes, running from the ghosts of their past. Sophia Beaumont, sitting stiffly in her seat near the window, belonged to the last category. Her gloved hands trembled slightly as she clutched her travel satchel, her eyes scanning every shadow that flickered past the compartment door. She was escaping. Escaping her stepfather, Charles Redmond, a man whose cold smile hid a violent nature. After her mother's death, his behavior had turned sinister, possessive, and dangerous. When Sophia uncovered his illegal dealings in land fraud and manipulation of local officials, he decided she was a liability, and tried to silence her. The fear of what he might do had pushed her onto this train headed straight toward Montana territory, where she hoped anonymity would give her safety. But danger wasn't finished with her yet. Near midnight, as the train rumbled through a canyon, Sophia stepped into the narrow passageway for some air. Suddenly, a heavy hand clamped over her mouth. A shadowy figure, hired by Redmond, dragged her toward the rear platform, intent on throwing her from the moving train. Her scream was muffled, her lungs burning with panic. Just when her strength seemed to fail, the door slammed open, and there he stood. Lucas Winters, a broad-shouldered cowboy returning home after months of cattle work in Wyoming. His sharp eyes caught the struggle instantly. Without hesitation, he lunged forward, grabbing the attacker and slamming him into the wall. A brutal fight erupted, the train shaking beneath them. With a final shove, Lucas sent the man tumbling out into the darkness, disappearing beneath the roar of wheels. Breathless and shaken, Sophia collapsed into Lucas's arms. That night changed everything. Lucas ensured she was safe, offering his seat, his jacket, and a steady presence that calmed her frayed nerves. When she finally confessed who was hunting her, his jaw tightened with determination. "You're not facing this alone," he promised. And for the first time since her mother's death, Sophia believed she wasn't powerless. When the train reached Bozeman, Lucas brought her to his family's ranch, where his sister Annie and brother-in-law welcomed her warmly. Surrounded by mountains and open fields, Sophia felt the first taste of freedom. But Lucas knew Redmond wouldn't give up, not a man obsessed with control and appearances. His suspicions proved right. Within days, Redmond arrived in town, spreading lies about Sophia being emotionally unstable and threatening authorities to release her into his custody. But the Winters family and several townspeople, having grown fond of Sophia's gentle strength and intelligence, stood firmly with her. The final confrontation came when Redmond stormed the ranch with 2 hired gunmen. Lucas was ready. A fierce gunfight erupted across the corral, dust rising around stampeding horses. Redmond, furious and desperate, charged toward Sophia, only to be stopped by Lucas, who tackled him to the ground. The sheriff, who Lucas had summoned earlier, arrived moments later to arrest Redmond and his men for attempted murder, extortion, and conspiracy. The nightmare was finally over. In the weeks that followed, Sophia began rebuilding her life from the ashes of fear. She helped Annie with ranch accounts, taught local children to read, and even started planning to open a small schoolhouse. Lucas stayed by her side every step of the way, his quiet strength becoming the anchor she never knew she needed. And somewhere between sunrise chores and starlit conversations, their bond transformed into something deeper, gentle, certain, and unbreakable. One warm autumn evening, as golden light spilled across the Montana hills, Lucas took Sophia's hands in his. "I don't want you to start your new life alone," he said softly. "I want to be part of it." Tears filled her eyes, happy ones, this time. Against all odds, she had found safety, purpose, and the love she never believed she deserved. Montana wasn't just her refuge. It had become her home.